Hey guys, Sunday night, just finished a delicious dinner. Some awesome fish, broccoli, lots of fish. I made a real hog out of myself. I'm still hungry, I'm ashamed to admit. But what I want to talk to you about is something that I know that when I put this up there, there's going to be trolls and busters that are going to make remarks about it, but I don't really give a fuck. The people that I'm trying to share something with, you guys are all real. It's like I'm real. Don't have to pretend to be something. Don't have to be a troll. Don't have to make smart ass remarks because there's something wrong with us. Shit that's wrong with us, we look in the mirror at ourselves and we know what it is and we see what it is and we can work on it, right? We know what our fucking issues are. Whatever they might be or might not be. Don't have to mask them. Now, I got a message from a guy, and I answered him and developed a bit of a friendship with him. And I don't think he's going to mind me recounting this. Nobody knows who he is. I'm not going to give his name. But I think it's important, so I want to put it out. He's 6'2", and currently 320 pounds, big dude. And he used to work out, regularly and with discipline, and he built muscle and he had a good build, and he had a falling out with someone, and he stopped working out, and he was kind of beat up emotionally, and he started eating a lot of stuff he shouldn't have ate, and he gained a bunch of body fat. All right, no crime in that, right? Well, one thing, I guess he withdrew into himself, and one thing led to another, and he has kind of like agoraphobia to a degree where he doesn't want to go outside, and he doesn't like to be around people, and he has, really shitty self-esteem. And he's trying to get back in shape. He started working out again. He's dropping weight, and he's hardening up. And he can't get to the gym right now, but he's working out at home, and he's running and doing some other stuff. And that's a hell of a feat at that size and weight, the running. But there's tons of shit you can do at home. As you know, there's tons of shit you can do. It's all exercise. And you can use anything to lift. You can fucking lift cans, paint cans. You can lift, empty gallon jugs of milk. Or water jugs or whatever have you. You can put sand in them. You can put water in them. You can curl them. You can, if you can't get a hold of it with your hand, you can tie it to a fucking rope and curl it with the rope, or you just use your brain. You can take chairs, kitchen chairs, and you can set them side by side and go between them and do dips. With your feet on the floor, your feet out in front of you, crossed, on your heels, and do dips. Or you can do one chair, with your hands on it. No matter what, there's all kinds of shit you can do. Push-ups between two chairs, push-ups on the floor. Tons of shit you can do. It's all fucking, stress and resistance, and the body doesn't know if it's a fucking weight, to be honest with you. So you can make progress, which he's doing, he knows. But the whole point is, I relate because when I was younger, when I was a kid, I used to walk around looking at the sidewalk. I used to count cracks. I used to count fucking cracks on the sidewalk. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because I am not that guy. But I was that guy. And I used to go around counting these cracks in the sidewalk. And the reason I did it was because I didn't want to look up. I couldn't look anybody in the face. I couldn't look at nobody in the eye. I couldn't look them in the face. And, as you know, anybody that's seen my videos, a couple I've mentioned it in, I had some self-esteem issues. I was scrawny, somewhat sickly to some degree. Little guy, and I got picked on, and I didn't dig it. But so I know what that's like. Sometimes, I think I can barely remember it, but other times something will strike a chord with me, and I'll remember it very clearly. Like in this instance, what it was like. And so what I told this guy, basically, amongst other things, is try to explain to him that, well, for one thing, if you're considering that things are so bad and you're so beat up that you're thinking about taking your life, or you're even thinking about that, first thing you got to remember is a saying that I always invoke, when I need to, and that is very simple. Don't let the bastards get you down. Don't let the bastards get you down. They're going to be out there, right? If the whole world around you is chaotic and in chaos, if you control you, then guess what? You're in control. Because all you can ever control, at best, is you. So right off the top, if you control you, you're in control, baby. No matter how chaotic the situation seems. Stand on the thin ice and smile. That's what I say. But, yeah. But you never know. I mean, if you were going to, decide to drop out completely like that, you don't know what the next year was going to bring, right? If you've been fed a shit sandwich, and life has been a lot of grief, you've made it this far, what are you going to do now? Cheat yourself out of, next year might be the best year you ever fucking seen. Things may completely turn around. You may meet someone, or you may have some epiphany, or God knows what. You may make some kind of huge progress. You don't know what could happen. So you're going to have gone through all this and ate that shit sandwich, right, till you were more than full, and then eat some more. But now you're going to cop out and call it quits and deny yourself of the time ahead when you're going to be able to laugh and actually it'll all pay off someday. You know what I mean? And the whole point is, it's the journey. What's it going to be, and when's that someday going to get there? Fuck, who knows? But it's the journey. It's the journey. Like, it's out there. You got to always believe. Small steps to the moon, just like in the working out shit, right? It's small steps to the moon. But once you learn that, that carries over into everything. It's not just working out anymore. It's not just building this fucking muscle anymore. You start out with little arms like this, right? And, you work out and you get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. It takes forever, but eventually, someday, small steps to the fucking moon, right? But by then, you've learned a whole bunch of other things. You've discovered that that applies all the way across the board in your whole life. Small steps to the fucking moon. You will get there. You will get there, but you're going to have to go through some pain. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to, all these things. If for nothing else, stick around just for the fucking spite of it. But just remember, don't let the bastards get you down. And like I pointed out to him, in this instance, I said, dude, the one thing you're denying is the reality that you are 6'2", and you are 300 and some pounds. You're not a small guy. You're not a little guy. And when you go out in public, people don't know what you're thinking. People don't know what you're afraid of. But you know what? The bad people, when they look at you, they don't see you as a victim. They don't see you as a victim. You're not going to be the one. They're not looking at you like that. All right? And those kind of people I'm referring to, bad people, they're all cowards anyway, for real. They're very choosy and selective about their victims, right? They like the easy way to go. They ain't looking at no 320-pound motherfucker that's 6'2". They ain't looking at him. But somewhere out there, though, there's a littler person. There's a sickly person. There's a really small person. There's a frail person. There's an old person. And they're scared, too. And you know what? The bad people see them as victims. They are potential victims. Their fears not only are real to them, their fears are real to others. There's a reason. Their fears can be easily validated if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time around the wrong people. You're 6'2", 320 pounds. That disqualifies you from a whole lot of shit that some of these other scared people that are really small and frail and sickly, that they may be made available to. You know why? Because they're still courageous enough to go out there and conduct the business of their lives. They're still out there. They're still out there, the ones walking around looking at the sidewalk. They're still out there. And when I'm out and about, I'm aware of the fact that I'm like 280 some pounds. You know what I mean? And I know all the fucking haters and shit. Oh, so what? That don't mean shit. You know what? It does mean something. Because the bad people, they're selective and they're choosy, and they don't see me as a fucking victim. And I'm not a victim, but they don't even see me as one. I'm disqualified from that. So when I'm out, I'm watchful. I'm watchful. When I see the people that look at the ground, when I see them, I speak to them. You know, I speak to them. I say, hey, how's it going, or whatever. I'm very nice, and I speak to them. Because even though it's just a small thing for me, a small thing for you, to them, it means something. It means something. Just a fucking word of kindness. You know, just that you recognize that they're an entity, and that they're there, and they're alive, and that they have a fucking life. So if you can do something so small, and it will mean something, why wouldn't you do it? You got to do it. You're obligated to do it. Because, like I told him, you can't deny it. You're a fucking gorilla. Just like I'm a gorilla. But you can choose to be a gorilla with a cause. And that's what it's all about. It's a lot deeper than just a channel about bodybuilding. But we can talk about bodybuilding till we're blue in the face. I love it. We can talk about it all you want, build muscle. Obviously, it's my thing. But there's a lot more. A lot more. Well, that's it for now. Maybe you got something out of that. Maybe you just thought it was rambling or whatever. But you know what? I'm going to be me because I can't be anybody else. But I know that when I was a little guy walking around sickly and scrawny and scared of the world and looking at the ground, counting the cracks, if some big monster motherfucker had come by me with a smile and a, hey man, how you doing? And kept on not intimidating me, but just acknowledging that I'm even there, it would have meant something to me. You know, I see out here, often out here, I see people so old and so worn that, you know, they walk around all hunched over, sometimes with a cane, sometimes not even a cane. I've seen older people walking around so hunched over when they got out of their car across the parking lot that I don't know how the fuck they can even walk like that. And they're still out there. They're still out there conducting the business of their life. They're still living their life. And you know what? I look like this, and I'm not going to be the victim. But those people are a lot braver than me. But I'm out there, and I watch. And I'm not a bystander. And maybe I don't have to do anything. Maybe I don't have to intervene on anybody's behalf, or I don't have to, you know, say anything to frighten away a boogeyman, or maybe that never happens. And you know what? That's fucking awesome. It has happened already, but let's say it never does happen again. That's awesome. That's the world I want to live in. But the point is, when we're out there, guys, when we're out there, just be mindful that everybody ain't like us. And even if you're not there yet, if you're walking around like this, you can still do some good with this. Just by being there. Just by saying, hey, how you doing? Just by being a nice guy. Really. Just by talking to somebody. All right, that's it. That's it. Take it for what it's worth. Hopefully it's worth something to somebody. If it's worth something to anybody, then it's worth putting out there. So that's all I can do is try. Take care, have an awesome evening, and I will see you soon, I hope.